Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to SFF180 at long last. Thomas here, your host, as always. It is Monday morning, August the 21st, and time once again for the mailbag. But first, an apology. I have missed you guys. As always, I've been saying that a lot this year, but late this summer, let's just say, lots of stuff has been going on around here, and all I can say is right around the end of July, I started slumping very, very badly. And, you know, it has taken a little bit of a while to climb out of that, as it were. Armadillocon at the beginning of August started kicking me back out of the slump. I did my interview with Cory Doctorow at that convention, which I recorded. That'll be coming up here on the channel, hopefully, maybe if not this week, week after. And so there is sort of new stuff happening again. But alas, by the time I got out of the slump, I think fully, which would have been maybe like 2 weeks into August, well, it became time to start planning for September. Space Opera September, which is happening, Season 3. And I know you've already seen the teaser here, the formal announcement videos on all three of our channels, mine, as well as my co-hosts Rachel from Shades of Orange, and Whitney from Secret Sauce of Storycraft. All three of those announcement videos will appear in tandem next Monday. All right? And they're all kind of thematically linked in a way. I mean, we're not just announcing the whole readathon. Just you'll have to see them to understand. All right? But before then, during this week, because I know we're kind of getting down to the wire and people have been curious and have been asking, especially on the Discord, if you join the Discord server, links are down below where the links live, then you will start seeing the new challenges being announced during the week. Whitney has designed some really great infographics for that. I'm so happy to have brought the two of them in for the third season of this, because they are just bringing new idea after new idea after new idea in for challenges and approaches and how to reach out to people and new things that we can start doing with Space Opera September. It's just been fresh ideas, fresh blood, whereas my brain has just really been empty in a lot of ways. So they have more than taken up that slack, and I'm so grateful to them. So look forward to that, because it's going to be really, really fun. So, as a way of kind of kicking myself back into the rhythm of content creation, and I mean, let me tell you, I've missed this room. It's just, I'm not going to go on about that anymore. But I'm starting with a mailbag, and it's a very modest one. I've only got 5 envelopes, but, you know, it's a way to kind of ease myself back into it and sort of, you know, get back into interacting with you all. I've missed you all terribly, and I've missed the books. And, yeah, let's get this show back on the road, shall we? All right. Okay, so I'm going to start with this little package, which is from a Canadian imprint called Rising Action Publishing. So I may have emailed this publisher, had an exchange with them, but I've forgotten what it is, if so. So we are going to see what's in here. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, yes, I do recall having an exchange with this publisher, but it's been months and months and months, so I'd almost forgotten about this, but it is here. This is a book by an author named Nick Stevenson, and it is called Nethergeist. Nethergeist Book 1, as a matter of fact. And this appears to be this kind of like very dark, almost fantasy horror thing. Comes out on December the 12th, 2023. And it says, for thousands of years, the Emperor Goat, a necromancer so powerful he has declared himself God, has had an iron grip on the universe. That's a pretty big grip, causing most worlds to fall into disrepair. In a paranoid city of renegades, the last bastion of humanity holds out against his might. Aelia, one of those. Anyway, its regent-elect is friendless, single, the, quote, wrong sex, the, quote, wrong heritage, and apparently cursed. While attempting to rout a coup, she is selected by outside forces to search for the impending birth site of Alchemia, a mage who is said to be the only match for the Emperor. To save herself and her people, she must ally with heretic magi, necromantic freedom fighters, the human-hating reptilian Krayal, and her sworn foe, the cowardly, lifeless warlord, Vespasian. A complex literary fantasy, Nethergeist is a story where the conflict is as much about the character's inner turmoil as the outward struggle against the maniacal emperor, featuring intense battles, snappy dialogue, and a world on the edge of ruin. Nethergeist is a fantasy in the vein of the Malazan Book of the Fallen and the First Law. And it's the first in a series. So it doesn't say how long the series is going to be, either a trilogy or longer. But this is, okay, so there you have it. Very grimdark, a fantasy that appears to also have maybe some slight science fictional as well as horror elements to it, by Nick Stevenson, out December the 12th. Okay, so now I have 3 envelopes in rapid succession, these little white envelopes, and we all know they are from the Macmillan Company. And we start out with the finished copy in trade paperback of the new novella by Amy Ogden. This is called Emergent Properties. It came out from Tor.com Publishing on July the 25th, and it goes like this. A sweeping adventure about an intrepid AI reporter, hot on the heels of brewing corporate warfare. A state-of-the-art AI with a talent for asking questions and finding answers, Scorn is nevertheless a parental disappointment. Oh dear. Defying the expectations of their human mothers. Okay, I get that the neo-pronouns are going to be very weird for some of you. I get it. CEOs of the world's most powerful corporations, Scorn has made a life of their own as an investigative reporter, crisscrossing the globe in pursuit of the truth, no matter the danger. In the middle of investigating a story on the moon, Scorn comes back online to discover he has no memory of the past 10 days, and no idea what story Z was even chasing. Letting it go is not an option. Scorn must retrace their steps in a harrowing journey to uncover an even more explosive truth than could ever have been imagined. And it says it's the perfect summer mystery thriller for fans of the Murderbot series and the mimicking of known successes. So, Emergent Properties by Amy Ogden came out end of July from Tor.com Publishing. And continuing with the Tor packages. Oh, okay, my mistake. This one is not from the Tor imprint. It's a St. Martin's Press, also a Macmillan imprint. And this is Cave 13 by Jonathan Mayberry, and it is the newest book in his Joe Ledger and Rogue Team International series. I guess these are very popular kind of maybe slightly speculative action thrillers, as it were. But let's see, in this one. So this one is coming out on August the 29th in trade paperback. This is a finished copy. And it says, Rogue Team International joins Joe Ledger in Cave 13, a new mind-bending mission to prevent a dangerous arms race in the Middle East. After years of searching, a new cave filled with Dead Sea Scrolls is found, and among them are bizarre books of actual magic. Terrorist groups and multinational corporations scramble to acquire these treasures in the hopes that magic is the true WMD of the 21st century. But everyone who goes near those scrolls goes insane. The fabric of reality is shredding. Is this the result of ancient magic, or is it a new bioweapon that fractures the mind of anyone exposed? Cave 13 pits Joe Ledger against warring factions of ideological terrorism, corporate greed, and massive international crime syndicates in what might well become a new Age of Miracles. And so, like I said, a Cave 13, this will be out from St. Martin's Press on August the 29th by Jonathan Mayberry. And finally, from the Macmillan packages we have from Tor.com Publishing, this is a new edition, this is a reprint of, I believe, was this her debut novel? Or close to debut. Anyway, but this is City of Bones by Martha Wells. No, it's not the Cassandra Clare City of Bones, it's Martha Wells' City of Bones. This first came out like 30 years ago. This is like 1992 or 93 or something like that. And this version, which is an entirely new edition, apparently has been updated and revised. And so, and this is reportedly, this is Martha Wells' preferred version of the story now. I read this back in like the mid-90s, you know, in mass market paperback, and I don't have that great a memory of it, although I do remember enjoying it. But this will basically be a completely fresh reread for me. I don't know how much she changed, but anyway, who cares? It says, let's see, the city of Charasat. A tiered monolith of the ancients' design sits on the edge of the vast desert known as the Waste. Okay, I remember that bit. Khat, a member of a humanoid race created by the ancients to survive in the Waste, and Sagai, his human partner, are relic dealers, working in the bottom tiers of society, trying to stay one step ahead of the trade inspectors. When Kot is hired by the all-powerful Warders to find relics believed to be part of one of the Ancients' arcane engines, he and his party begin unraveling the mysteries of an age-old technology. This they expected. They soon find themselves as the last line of defense between the suffering masses of Charisat and a fanatical cult, bent on unleashing an evil upon the city with an undying thirst for bone. This they did not expect. Okay, so City of Bones, now re-released, reprinted, Martha Wells, very early Martha Wells novel. And this will be out from Tor.com Publishing on September the 5th. And finally, this week we have this envelope from Simon & Schuster. Oh, good. I'm very happy to have this. This is in from Flame Tree Press, which I guess is distributed by Simon & Schuster. This is a new horror novel called Whisperwood. The author is Alex Woodrow, and it goes like this. It says, Whisperwood is a small town deep in the woods that's not on any maps. Nobody goes there, and nobody ever comes out. To Anna, Whisperwood is an opportunity, a haven, a place to hide from her violent, witch-hunting ex-lover. But once she arrives, Anna is prevented from leaving by folk magic she doesn't understand. An unwilling and unwelcome resident, she tries to fit in and lends a hand anywhere she can, but quickly finds that investigating the surrounding forest too closely could be the last thing she ever does. Because the only thing more dangerous than frightened villagers is what's waiting in the woods beyond them. And Anna is about to discover that the terrifying legends about the creatures in the forest don't come close to revealing their true hidden nature. Okay. So, Whisperwood by Flame Tree Press, from Flame Tree Press, I should say, by Alex Woodrow, I believe is available now in your horror sections. So there you have it. That's all I've got for this episode of the Mailbag. Nice, modest mailbag to sort of ease back into the groove, like I said at the beginning. You guys know the drill. Light up the comments. Let me know which of these looks most interesting and exciting to you and which you'd like to see me prioritize for review. And otherwise, if you enjoyed watching, please also hit that like button, share the video far and wide with all of your SFF reading friends, and above all, please subscribe if you have not done so. That's how the channel grows. You can also support the channel at my TeePublic store and at my Patreon, where recruits into Wink's Army occasionally get little perks like early access to some of my videos, but mostly, the purpose of the Patreon is to help me pay Matt Olson, my amazingly brilliant and talented channel artist who does all of my great thumbnails and things for me, and he has done animation work on this year's Space Opera September announcement video that is beyond anything he's done before, so I'm very excited for you to see that. So I want to thank all of those folks for their additional support because it's greatly appreciated. I want to thank all the rest of you for being the very best viewers in all of BookTube, and until I see all of you next time, much sooner, much more quickly than has been happening, I promise. Stay safe and healthy and happy reading.